What then of programs of interest? In what ways are their rhetorics different? Here we want to make a distinction between programs of interest oriented to sameness in contrast to programs oriented to difference. Now here's the homepage of the New York Times. The top bar is screaming rhetoric, an advertisement for Amazon Web Services. Then there are a series of articles about national politics and an article of social commentary about changes happening in a mining town. Rhetorically, these texts are relatively open, as you might expect for supposedly balanced reporting. Though many a critic of the New York Times will question whether interestless balance is ever possible. Then the last two columns, 10 articles expressed in the relatively closed rhetoric of opinion pieces. The assumption is that everyone landing on the homepage will have the same interest, curated for them by the editors of the newspaper. Except for the comments, there is very little opportunity for readers to participate and none to create the news. The theorist of modern nationalism, Benedict Anderson, spoke of the imagined communities that were created by these kinds of media, where people were connected by reading the same news at the same time in the same newspaper. We call this a program of assimilation. Nationalism is the illusion that we're all the same because we share the same story, that we're all on the same page. Now here's my Facebook page in a screenshot taken seconds after the picture of the New York Times homepage that I just showed you. There's an obscure piece of news about a new train service in the feed to which I subscribe. My friends are creating news, voicing their opinions on big questions of climate change or little questions about the restaurant they visited today and the meal that they ate. The place down the road where I get my car repaired has an advertisement for me. Everyone's feed is radically different depending on who their friends are, the groups that they belong to, the feeds they subscribe to, as well as Facebook's own reading of what might be good for us to see given our profile and our activity. Facebook's artificial intelligence has got to know a lot about me. Now this is a program that we call differentiation, your feed compared to mine. The result, we end up in information bubbles, and more, the effect of a rhetorical program of differentiation is to amplify our differences. Today, broadcasting media with an assimilating effect, of which the New York Times is an example, have been replaced by narrowcasting media with a differentiating effect. Rhetoric is happening in both these programs. Opinions, advertising, news, fake or otherwise. It's just happening in programs designed to push our meanings in the opposite direction, either towards sameness or differentiation. So here now is a rough map of these two different programs. Let me take another example, consumer objects. Here is Henry Ford with his famous Model T. Any colour you like as long as it's black, said this inventor of modern mass production, and the mass consumption that came with it. Today you can order from the factory a unique combination of model, colour, features, and the business theorists call this mass customization. We also have customizable objects, smartphones for instance, which do just the things we want them to do with the apps that we have selected. So in the world of commodities, there has been a parallel shift from objects whose program is assimilation to objects whose program is differentiation.